America is not it no more, man. America is fucking trash. It's trash.
Shalom. So this is a typical Edomite now, you know what I'm saying? They said America is trash, but what about the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, which you dehumanize, you consider to be second-class citizens, right? You redlined, right? You discriminated on them every opportunity that you could. You know what I'm saying? And everything, you fed little babies to alligators, right? You know what I'm saying? You lynched our men and women, but you know, a lot of you devils will say it wasn't you, but it was, right? You got the benefit off that rape, rob, and pillaging, and you are your ancestors coming back in a reincarnation, right? But that's a whole nother subject for a whole nother day. But now the so-called white man can't take it, right? Imagine you Jake's been dealing with this 400 plus years, right? Now, being in the United States ain't what it is because the so-called white man, the typical average Edomite, can't benefit no more, right? That's why. And with this little bitch, you know, these little Edomites, what they do, right, is once they can't get their way of something going wrong for them, that's everybody's problem, right? But what was this outcry? What was all this social media, rants when the so-called blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans been getting discriminated on for 400 plus years? What was all this outcry, right? Now you're getting affected. Now it's a big deal, right? 1 second. All right, Salak, so I'm going to be doing a commentary on this particular video, but again, you know what I'm saying, when the so-called white man started to get affected, now it's everybody else's problem. Play more of this. I'm going to be doing a commentary in this video.
It's trash. Just watching these two old heads on that debate, it was just like, oh my god. Oh my god. And anybody, like, I said in my other video, anybody thinks Donald Trump's the answer, you have issues. You have issues. No, he's not coming to save us.
And a lot of you simple-minded jakes that's outside of this truth, you think, how stupid is you ninjas, right? First you was on this Joe Biden train. Now you got off the Joe Biden train, right? Since he done wrecked you, jakes, and effed you up. Now you hopping on the Donald Trump train. You know what I'm saying? This complete fucking madness with Jake. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, the Most High when he put a plug on this place, it's going to be something that you can't comprehend, right? It's going to be a lot of chaos coming, right? A lot of chaos.
That man's not coming to save us. He's going to destroy more things. He said, taking away taxes. He said, I don't know what he said with the thing. That
a lot of you Edomites, you know what I'm saying, you got another thing coming too as well, because you believe in this devil, Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you look at him as your so-called white Jesus, right? He's going to be your savior. But no, this place is finished. It can't continue this way. I want to say this too. If you think Joe Biden is running this country, you need to have your head checked because you ain't too bright. They're going to show you that the president, they all selected, right?
Even worse. Like, you really can't have fun anymore. You really can't. I'd be able to travel almost every year. The last 2 years I couldn't travel at all because our economy is complete trash.
And this is what Jake been dealing with for over 400 plus years. This been a story of our life. Being oppressed, being downtrodden, being told to get over it. Pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. It's your fault, right? I did it, you should be able to do it. So that's been a plight of you devils, right? When Jake started outcrying, when Jake want so-called reparations, which we know reparations ain't coming on this side. Our reparations is coming from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah, all right?
I can only afford to pay my bills. Great. I can't do nothing else. I honestly want to live in our...
Ain't that been Jake? Just barely can pay their bills, and some Jakes can't even pay their bills. But you devils, when you went outcrying, when Jake was getting oppressed, it was okay, right? It was all good, as long as Jake was getting oppressed and you was getting the upper hand and be able to live a comfortable life at the expense of the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans, it wasn't an issue to you, right?
Country. This country is trash. It's trash here. You know how much it costs to live in Bali a year? Not a year, a month. Monthly. Every month. $1,000 a month to live in Bali. The amount of money you pay in your rent, $1,500 to $2,000. You get to save that $2,000 living in Bali. Because your bills are only be $1,000 a month. Food, rent, electric, $1,000 a month to live comfortable in our country. Now, I really could think about selling my house, but at the same time, it can make me revenue to a point. If I do move to a different state, I'll have that cash right there. Never have to work again. And it's kind of been my plan lately, is just trying to make as much money as I can in the States and bring it to a different country, because you're going to live comfy in a different country. You're going to have better food in a different country. You're going to have better people in our country, because there's no community in this country. You want to pretend there's a community here, there isn't. You're a bum if you're struggling. But you...
Right, and that's the mentality women have adopted. They'll refer to Jake as being a broke-ass nigga, right? And a lot of these Jake women don't understand stats. You know, the typical Jake makes around $40,000 to $50,000 per year, right? I think only about 10% of the so-called black men make over $100,000 a year, but our women don't understand that because they are captivated by social media, right? They're taken by the world. Right, so yeah, and most of these people, it's a individualistic society. That's how these Edomites, you know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know what I'm saying, these elites set this up to be an individual society, right? Every man for themselves, right? That's why us brothers look out for each other the best that we can.
Will support a celebrity who ain't helping you, but you will support them, help them. But a homeless person, he's a bum.
Let me say this as well. Most of our women understood that we was getting oppressed. They understood that the so-called Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Americans was getting discriminated on. But they say, nigga, you still need to make $100,000 a year. So what that means is they sided with the so-called white man. They drew their line into the sand because they know that we haven't been given a fair shake here. Right, they know everything has been rigged up for us to fail, but the so-called black woman, typically, they don't give a damn, right? They for their own selves. While you suffer, Jake, and you got some decent sisters, you know what I'm saying, that's, you know, that they don't think that way, but overall, our nation is destroyed. And you got the men as well, right?
There's no community here. It sucks here. I don't like engaging with people because I see the bullshit with people because they're so fake. You got men out here getting plastic surgeries on their bodies to look good for women.
Yeah, you had this Jake that I think he got a, you know what I'm saying, like a foot, you know, like when you get, Salakia, when you get your height extended. So Jake is fucking bugged out. And you got these women getting the BBLs and all kind of, they getting cut up everywhere all through their body, right? So this is a fake society, you know what I'm saying? So let's get into, I ain't want to make this too long. And so many other things to cover, but you know, they're just insane right now. All right, 2nd Ezra 8:50. It says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time, the time we in right now, shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. So the MO of the so-called white man is pride. And you have our people that have adopted that mentality. So they walk around like ain't shit going on, like it's all good, right? That this place is invincible. but they don't understand the rise and fall of kingdoms. But yet they attach themselves to the Bible, but don't know nothing about the Bible, right? And these people are sheeple, and it's getting ready to be a slaughter. And that's why, look at the average American. They're obese, overweight, right? Eating fast food on their way to death, right? So these Edomites, these elites, rather, have fattened up these Americans for the slaughter. It's really Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? Sheeple. It says people compared to sheep in being docile, and you Americans are docile. Overall, the brothers and sisters that's in this truth, you okay. But everybody outside of this truth, they don't know what the hell is going on. It says foolish. It says are easily led. And that's another thing. People fall for these okie dokes every time because they sheeple, right? Just getting led to the slaughter. Let's go here. It says the meaning of sheeple is people who are docile, compliant, or easily influenced. Like they trick you jakes every time. Like this whole voting thing. You know what I'm saying? It's all an illusion. How many times you voted and things just don't change in your life? It stays the same. That should be, common sense should kick in and say, well, it's a waste of time, right? I didn't want to make this too long. Let's go here. It says 2 Timothy 3:1. Let me go to the right to the KJV. There's know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And this is throughout the whole scriptures how bad it's going to get. But you somehow, Jake don't have the understanding to really understand what the Bible is talking about, and they skip around these scriptures. They hopscotch over these scriptures because they don't want to deal with them. And your Christian pastor is to blame. You should be mad at that ninja because he ain't taught you nothing. He taught you good. God was good all the time, and all the time God is good. But this saying something different. It go to show you that you haven't been learning the Bible. You've been learning the plantation Christianity. It says, read this again. It says, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. That mean bad, right? But you talk to the Christian pastor, he gonna tell you that God want to give you a Mercedes Benz. So they not in harmony with the scriptures really talking about. So they false prophets. It says too, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. 3, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despiser of those that are good. It says 4, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure, Salakia, more than lovers of God. That's all you see. Jake women twerking, selfies, you name it. You go down and shit show up the list, right? Jake obsessed with looking good for the so-called, for the woman, right? But they just have put all their stock into the flesh, not into the spirit. It says having a form of godliness, so people might be perceived to be so-called godly, but it's all in folly. But denying the power thereof, from such turn away. So you got these people in oblivious. They're in oblivion. They're oblivious to what the Bible is really talking about and what is actually going on in real time. Right? They're oblivious. It says oblivious, and you just go around and go to and fro. You see these Americans, they in an oblivion spirit. They're in the days of Noah spirit. They'll be eating, drinking, living a normal life pretty much, right?